and help build goodwill and peace in the world. 31 word definition. So someone says, I am a Rotarian. You tell someone I am a Rotarian and then they say, what is Rotary? What is Rotary? Then your answer would be that Rotary is an organization of business and professional leaders united worldwide who render humanitarian service, encourage high ethical standards in all vocations, and help build goodwill and peace in the world. All our activities, as it were, is encapsulated in this definition. Rotary is an organization. Today it is an organization, but let me take you back to the year 1905, February 23rd, 1905. Room number 711, Unity Building, Chicago. That is when the first ever Rotary meeting took place between four friends: Paul Harris, Gus Loher, Sylvester Shield, and Hiram Shorey. Paul Harris was a lawyer. He was new to Chicago, and Chicago was a teeming city. No one had time for one another. And in this kind of a setting, Paul said, why not I gather together a few of my friends? Maybe, we could help each other in our businesses, in our activities. And that is how between these four friends, the first ever Rotary meeting took place. Room number 711, Unity Building, Chicago. Today the Unity Building does not exist. But if you happen to visit Evanston, where you have the Rotary International World Headquarters, it's an 18-story beautiful building. There, this room number 711 Unity Building has been recreated. You will find Paul Harris's typewriter and the furniture, the chairs where the four of them sat. And when those four gentlemen met on that day, my friends, I'm sure they would not have ever imagined that Rotary would one day grow into an international service organization with presence in over 207 countries, more than 34,000 Rotary clubs, 536 Rotary districts, and more than 1.2 million Rotarians. Now, if an organization has stood the test of time, there has to be something in it. 113 years is such a long time for an organization to grow, to flourish. There has to be some value addition for the individual Rotarian who is part of this organization. And therefore, the first point in this thesis, which Raja Saboo tells us, is if you do not have belief in the ideals of Rotary, then there is no Rotary. And what are the ideals of Rotary? If we go back to this definition of Rotary, organization of business and professional leaders united worldwide, that means we are basically bound together by friendship. United worldwide, it brings out the internationality of Rotary. And therefore, from this definition flows our 5 avenues of service. Business and professional leaders united worldwide, I get my avenue of club service. Who render humanitarian service, my second avenue of community service. Encourage high ethical standards in all vocations. I get my avenue of vocational service. And help build goodwill and peace in the world, the avenue of international service. And one part of international service is new generations, where Rotary has programs like Rotaract, Interact, the Rotary Youth Leadership Award, the International Youth Exchange for encouraging the ideals of Rotary among our young people. And therefore, my friends, these are, as it were, the ideals of Rotary. When we talk of club service, we talk of friendship and fellowship. When we talk of community service, we are referring to love and compassion. When we are referring to vocational service, it is excellence and ethics. And when it is international service, it is goodwill and peace. And so these 8 principles, as it were, the ideals of Rotary. If one doesn't have belief in these ideals, there is no Rotary. And right on top of all these ideals is the motto of Rotary, which says, service above self, he profits most who serves best. Essentially a reference to our avenue of vocational service. Imbue the concept of service even in the practice of your vocation, even in the conduct of your business. Because even in your business or profession, when you serve best, you will automatically profit the most. And therefore, my friends, wonderful ideals this organization exemplifies for us, and it is for us to internalize these principles and make them a way of life. Service above self, he profits most who serves best. A few days ago, I was reading a fine example, a fine real life example of top class vocational service. With her 6-year-old son, a woman leaves her house in Mysore, belongs to a poor family, just leaves the house with the 6-year-old boy. And on the streets of Bengaluru, they wander for some time, and later this lady manages to get a job in some houses to earn a basic living. And this boy makes friends with urchins there. He discovers a new world of friends, he plays with them and so on. A few years pass. A few years pass, and then this boy is told, your mother is very sick and she is in the government general hospital. 4 days later, the boy is told, your mother is no more, she has died. The boy says, she has died? What does that mean? I don't know. The boy comes to the government hospital for the first time, and somebody asks him, what is your name? This boy says, my name is Mahadeva. An old man sitting there takes pity on him and says, don't worry, I will take care of you. You run some small errands in this hospital. I work here part-time. And so he would bring fruits, he would bring tea, and time flew. And the boy turned 15 years of age, running errands in that hospital and living with that old man, his benefactor. And when this boy was 15 years old, a police inspector came up to him in the hospital and said, boy, will you do a work for me? There is an unclaimed dead body. Government hospitals, you'll have so many of these. So there is an unclaimed dead body. Will you see that it is honorably disposed of? The boy said, okay. And then the inspector said, for this, I will give you 200 rupees to dispose of a dead body. And so the boy hired a horse carriage which served as a hearse, covered the body with a blanket, put the body in the hearse and took it to the burial ground, 6 feet of digging, very honorably, buried the body and came back. Job done. 3 days later, another policeman called him, boy, there is another unclaimed body. Will you dispose it of? 200 rupees. The boy said yes. Again the horse, the hearse. And so this became this boy's vocation. Police would call him and he would do this and he would do it so well. And one day, this old man, his benefactor, he died. And it was left to this boy to dispose of even that old man's body. And then this boy realized, I think I should bring a sense of dignity even to the dead body, which I handle. And so he garlanded that old man's body. That became a practice. After that, every body which he buried, he would garland. And with a neat cloth, he would cover. take it in his hearse, take it to the burial ground, and very dignifiedly give a burial. Mahadeva behaved and worked like a true professional. Two important ingredients of a true professional. Ingredient number one, a professional doesn't need supervision. He will always be at his efficient best. And Mahadeva was always at his efficient best, cleaning up the body, putting the garland, the white cloth, taking it safely in the hearse, giving it a decent burial. A professional doesn't need supervision. He is always at his efficient best, and he also has the competence and the ability to certify that he has done his job well and fully. And Mahadeva would come back and tell the police, yes, job accomplished. One day, this horse died. And then the people in the hospital, they all gathered and they bought Mahadeva an auto rickshaw. An auto rickshaw with a small wagon like horse attached to it. But that horse was with him for so many years. So the horse became his logo, and he painted the horse on his auto rickshaw. Branding. To this day, Mahadeva has buried 42,000 bodies. The Chief Minister of Karnataka felicitated him at a public function. Gas stations in Bengaluru do not charge him when he takes the fuel for his auto rickshaw. Contrast this with another event which happened in Bengaluru 3 years back. On the one side, you have Mahadeva, the professional, no qualification, untutored, but doing his job so beautifully, giving dignity to the dead. 3 years back, what happened? Outside a hotel in Bengaluru, a dead body was found. The owner of the hotel called the nearby police station, the sub-inspector, the assistant sub-inspector, the inspector and the constable, the four of them, they came, and the hotel owner said, there is this body, please dispose it off. What did these four guys do? They went to a private medical college, because medical colleges need dead bodies for dissection and study. They struck a bargain. And they said, for so much of money, we will give you this dead body. And they took the money. But as luck would have it, in a week's time, the son of that person whose body was found outside the hotel, he somehow reached the police. And he said, that was my father, where is the body? And the entire truth came out. And all these four police guys were suspended from service. And so, my friends, you contrast. Contrast on the one side Mahadeva, an exemplar of professional excellence and ethics. And on the other side, these four police guys. And therefore, my friends, a belief in the ideals of Rotary. Then you are a Rotarian. Otherwise, there is no Rotary. No classification, there is no Rotary. In our own club, we have Valmiki, who is a Rotarian belonging to the classification of travel and tourism. We have our own president Sarathi from aviation, my friend Naresh from auditing, Murthy Garu from banking. And so Raja Saboo says Rotary is a conglomeration of like-minded friends who belong to different occupations. And that is the beauty of Rotary, makes Rotary colorful. If you have only doctors, it will be a medical association. If you have only bankers, it will be a bankers association. So we have different people. The classification refers to the vocation or the business or the profession which we represent in our Rotary Club. And therefore, my friends, no classification, there is no Rotary. No Rotary meeting, no Rotary pin, and there is no Rotary. In spite of all the advances in technology, in spite of all the WhatsApp messages, in spite of the fact that my client sitting in San Diego can send me a message and I can receive it instantly on WhatsApp. In spite of all the technological advances, the sheer pleasure of meeting your friend at a Rotary meeting and shaking hands with him, looking into his eyes, that emotional bonding happens only in a Rotary meeting. And therefore, when you meet people from different backgrounds, different classifications, each person is actually a labor-saving device. And you learn from so many people. And therefore, the sanctity, the validity, the importance of a Rotary meeting. And then the Rotary pin. Oftentimes we wear the Rotary pin only when we attend a Rotary meeting or a Rotary function. No, my friends, you have to wear your Rotary pin every day. Because it exemplifies the values you stand for. The Rotary pin tells the outside world that you are wedded to love and compassion, friendship and fellowship, excellence and ethics, goodwill and peace. That you are an international soldier on the way to lasting peace and goodwill. And therefore, wear the Rotary lapel pin with pride every day. Public relations doesn't happen only when we do projects. It also happens every day when the individual Rotarian wears the pin and he goes about his work and somebody says, "What is that pin you're wearing?" And then you tell them about this magic of Rotary. And therefore, my friends, the sanctity, the validity of a Rotary meeting. I remember, thanks to a Rotary meeting, it was an intercity, where one of my friends from another Rotary club, he was talking to us. And he was telling us about, in the context of the importance of effective communication. Communication is not just talking and then communicating effectively whatever you want to say. An important ingredient of communication, he told us, was the art of aggressive listening. And he said, listening is the greatest compliment. When somebody is talking to you something and you listen attentively, you look into his eyes, you're telling that person, I value your opinion. What you say is precious to me. And therefore, listening is the best compliment. And in the context of this aggressive listening, because oftentimes, it happens with each one of us. Lalit is talking to me something, I am listening to him. Yes, I'm nodding my head, but my mind is somewhere in Sultan Bazaar. I have to pick up some book which I forgot this afternoon. Tomorrow somehow I should pick up. What time do I go? I am planning. And Lalit is talking. And to drive home this point of the importance of aggressive listening, this friend of us shared with us a humorous anecdote which has remained with me since. It so happened that in a particular area, The father there had done some wonderful work. And then the head, the bishop, he was visiting. And the bishop came to the father and said, "You have done such wonderful work, I am going to give you a gift." "And what is the gift I am going to give you?" He said, "It is a magic horse. It is a magic horse. You have to sit on this horse and you say, 'Alleluia,' and this horse will start galloping." No problem, you enjoy. "Oh my God," and it will gallop. And then you want the horse to stop. You say, "Alleluia," and the horse will stop. Father said, "No problem, these words I keep telling every Sunday." So the magic horse was left behind and the bishop left, and it was a beautiful weather, evening around 5 o'clock, and the father said, "Let me enjoy a horse ride." And he sat on this horse and he said, oh my God," and the horse started galloping faster and faster across meadows and green fields. Oh my God, what beautiful breeze. And now the horse is heading towards a mountain which is about 5,000 meters in height, and the horse has started climbing the mountain. And higher the mountain, greater the speed, and wonderful breeze, and the father is enjoying the horse ride, and now the horse has come right up to the peak. And below 5,000 meters below is the valley, and the horse is galloping towards the peak. The horse has to stop. What is that word? Didn't listen properly. Mind was in Sultan Bazaar. Oh my God, he's repeating the same thing. Horse is going faster. Came to the edge of the cliff. Fortunately, he remembered and he said, "Alleluia," and the horse stopped. The horse stopped and the father looked down and he said, "Oh my God." And therefore, my friends, Rotary meeting means the opportunity to meet so many people and to learn so many things. Friendship and fellowship. But for Rotary, would you have so many friends? But for Rotary, would I have met KMK Murtigar? But for Rotary, would I have met Valmiki? Which is why a past Rotary International president from Italy called Paulo Di Costa, he said, "Some people collect stamps, others collect coins. I am a Rotarian, I collect friends." So many friends because you're a Rotarian. And therefore, my friends, friendship and fellowship. No friendship and fellowship, there is no Rotary. Forget about it. No ethics and human values. Vocational service, we said, talks of excellence and ethics. So no ethics and human values, as we saw in the example of Mahadeva and those police guys. No ethics and human values, there is no Rotary. No personal upliftment, then there is no Rotary. I am paying my subscription, I am a Rotarian for so many years, okay. But the time which you are investing, the time which is the most precious commodity, which you are investing in Rotary, what is the return on that time which you are giving for Rotary? The return is, am I becoming a better person? Yes, I am becoming a better person, then the investment of time in Rotary is worth it. I was fortunate to serve Rotary in this district as a district governor in the year 2009-10. And one of my Rotary moments happened in this place called Chirala, which is about 2 hours drive from Guntur. The Rotary Club of Chirala had donated about 100 school desks in a school, mostly girl children studying in that school, and 100 school desks, most of them are daughters of widows or single women. function was over and we were all coming out, when two little girls studying in class 2, right from inside, they started running, coming towards me, and I was entering the car and they caught hold of me. And they caught hold of me and they started talking with so much of enthusiasm and happiness. And they said, "Uncle, uncle, uncle, you're so nice, uncle. You're so nice. When will you come to our school again? It is so nice that you came and gave us all these desks. But tell us, uncle, when will you come to our school again?" I started wondering. I'm one among many chartered accountants in Hyderabad. Thanks to Rotary, I become a district governor and I come to this place. And these girls run out of their affection and they speak like this. What is that destiny which brings me here and makes these girls talk to me this way? Rotary enables you to see the divine in the eyes of a child, in the flight of a bird, in the flowing river, as if reaffirming that God is a presence and not a person. God is an experience and not an explanation. That God is a presence and not a person. The God is the center and not the circumference. And therefore, does Rotary uplift me as a person? Because I'm a member of my Rotary Club, I serve on my board of directors, my views are diametrically opposite to what is expressed in a board meeting, but I develop that ability to make my views subservient to the majority view. I develop the ability to look at a particular issue from somebody else's standpoint. That this is also possible. I develop empathy. And therefore I become humble. And so I am uplifting myself as a person. And therefore, no personal upliftment, there is no Rotary. No respect for fellow human beings. Your own fellow Rotarians, your own Rotary leaders, you have the maximum of respect and affection. But Rotary goes a step ahead. Somebody whom you don't know. Will you have respect for that person whom you don't know? Then you are a Rotarian. It is raining. Now the rains have become a drizzle. You're proud to be a Rotarian, so the windshield of your car, it says, "I am a Rotarian," a sticker attached on the rear side, and then you're driving. On the road on the left-hand side, there is a huge pool of water, and a pedestrian is walking. You're driving at 50 or 60 kilometers per hour. And you go on that pool of water and the water splashes and that pedestrian gets totally wet and dirty. Your car crosses and then that pedestrian sees, "I am proud to be a Rotarian." Would you be making Rotary proud? Respect for fellow beings. He is after all walking and it is drizzling. If I go fast, the water splashes. That is not done. And so you slow down and you take the car to the right. You avoid that pool of water. And then the car moves slowly and the person says, "Proud to be a Rotarian." Ha! This man is a Rotarian and therefore he had concern for me as a pedestrian. And therefore, my friends, respect for fellow beings. Saboo says two types of people are dangerous for Rotary. People who have no time, the entire 6 months, not a single Rotary meeting they attended. And then people who have all the time, morning till evening, they are ready to do Rotary work. Both these types of people are dangerous for Rotary. The full-time Rotarians and the no-time Rotarians. And therefore, you need to maintain that balance between family, your business, and Rotary. And then there is that variety, that color, that meaning. Because Rotary also talks about family values, it also talks about vocational excellence, and it also talks about service. So that balance in life. Two friends had committed a crime and the king said, I'm not going to kill you. What you will do is, there's a huge chasm between two hills. There is a big gap and down below are rocks and water. So he said, we are going to have a rope from this side to the other side, a very thin rope, and the distance is about 1 furlong. And you have to walk on this rope, this thin rope. One fellow said, any other way you kill me, I cannot do this. And if you go safely on the other side, your life is spared. The other fellow said, let me try. And then he walked on that thin piece of rope, 1 furlong across that chasm. And carefully, he reached the other side. Life was saved, and people asked him, how did you manage this? And then this man said, very simple, I tried, it worked. Every time I felt I'm going to fall on this side, I came back to the center. Every time I felt I'm going to fall back on the right side, I came back to the center. In other words, I maintained the balance. I did not swing to one extreme. So that is the balance which Saboo talks about between family, work, and Rotary. No taking of action and responsibility, there is no Rotary. A government school in Mushirabad needs a medical camp, it needs a health camp. There are so many children who need to be attended to. Well, what can we do? Somebody will do something. No Rotary. But then your Rotarian Dikshit and Rotarian Sarathi, they say, come on, let's do something, and they involve other organizations, and they have an excellent health camp in that government school where children are taught so many things, the importance of washing their hands, the importance of dental care, and the anemic children are given some medicines. Taking action, assuming responsibility. And remember, my friends, whenever you do something for somebody, to one person you may be, to the world you may be one person. To the world you may be one person, but that one person whom you have touched, to that person you are the world. And therefore the Rotarian says, if it is to be, it is up to me. And therefore, my friends, taking action and responsibility. Yet another ingredient, no tolerance, no Rotary. Being accommodative of others' views. In Rotary, if you read the entire literature, your manual of procedure, your bylaws, there is no provision for passing a no confidence motion. I don't like my president and therefore you can't do that. Because Rotary teaches us that toleration. If there are differences, we resolve those differences and we work as a team. Reminds me of that beautiful shloka from the Taittiriya Upanishad, which we keep telling at home. Sahana vavatu, sahano bunaktu, sahaviryam karavavahai, tejasvina vaditamastu mavidvishavahai. A management consultant in Hyderabad called Mr. K.S. Madhavan, he has used this shloka to convert loss-making units into profit-making ones in Hyderabad. To motivate the workmen, the workforce. Sahana bhavatu, let's all work together. Sahano bunaktu, having worked together, let's enjoy the fruits of our labor. Sahaviryam karavavahai, working together, enjoying the fruits of our labor, let us grow from strength to strength. Tejasvina vaditamastu, working together, enjoying the fruits of our labor, growing from strength to strength, let us shine resplendent in the glory of our achievement. Mavidvishavahai, working together, enjoying the fruits of our labor, growing from strength to strength, shining resplendent in the glory of our achievement. In case any differences arise between us, let us sink those differences. And therefore, my friends, tolerance, we imbibe, we learn. No enjoyment, no laughing, no Rotary. Everybody comes very serious. Okay, sandwich is there. I had the sandwich. Coffee, I drank the coffee. He will come and sit silently. Meeting is over. Oh, he hit the bell. Go away. That would not be Rotary. How am I participating? Am I bringing that sense of life, as it were, the zest for life, as it were, when I come into my meeting? I remember in our meetings some years back, at the end of every meeting, there used to be what is called a last laugh. Some Rotarian has to come and tell a joke. And then everybody laughs, and laughing, you leave the place. Because, my friends, laughter is meditation. Laughter is meditation. How can laughter be meditation? You see, when you really laugh, a belly laughter, as it were, what happens? Only that energy of laughter is there. Lalit disappears. Suresh disappears. Naresh disappears. Only laughter. That means what? The I disappears. The ego disappears. And so they said, laughter is meditation. That is why the more you laugh, the more you'll feel refreshed, rejuvenated, relaxed. And one of my favorite jokes, which I keep telling in my Rotary talks, I thought I should share it with you all this evening. So that we laugh. Because only man can laugh, na? Dog cannot laugh. You tell your dog, come on, laugh. What it will do? And so, there was this government-aided school. Government-aided school, every year one inspector will come, he will inspect the school and he will send a report, then the government will release the funds. One such government school, one inspector came for inspection. Came to third standard, about 40 children in the class, the lady teacher is there. So the inspector, he came to this teacher and he asked the lady teacher, ma'am, what have you been teaching these children? So she said, I have been teaching them the Ramayana, the story of Lord Rama. Till where have you taught? Oh, that he broke the bow and Rama and Sita got married and they came to Ayodhya and Dasharath said, go to forest, and they went to forest. Till that stage I have told the story. Inspector said, very nice. And then he told the 40 children, I want to ask you a question. Let us see who answers. And the inspector asked the question, who broke Shiva's Dhanush? There was a total pin drop, eerie silence in the class. Nobody is answering. He repeated the question, who broke Shiva's Dhanush? No answer. Finally, in the last row, one boy slowly put up his hand and this inspector said, come on, answer, get up. This boy got up and the boy said, sir, I don't know, sir. I don't know who broke, sir. I didn't break, sir. Inspector was shocked. Who broke Shiva's Dhanush? I didn't break. He looked at the teacher. The teacher looked at the 40 children. And again the teacher looked at the inspector. And the teacher told the inspector, sir, don't be fooled by the innocent faces of these children. One of them has definitely broken it. You give me 10 minutes time, I'll find out who has broken it. Now this inspector's head is just turning. He went straight to the headmaster. Now this headmaster, he is practicing meditation every day. That Vipassana, all that he is doing. So to him, and he went and this inspector said, what is happening in your school? I said, who broke Shiva's Dhanush? That boy says, I didn't break. Teacher says, give 10 minutes time, I'll find out. What is happening? So that headmaster is cool like a cucumber. He said, why are you making a mountain out of a molehill? Something has broken. Okay, it has broken. Whatever is the cost of that thing which has broken, you reduce it from the grant money and you send me the balance money. I will run my school. And therefore, my friends, it is said that an infant smiles 400 times a day. How much are we smiling is a question we'll have to ask ourselves. No compassion, no tears, no Rotary. If you can't see Rotary in the eyes of a child, if something around you has not touched you, the Dalai Lama tells us, if you want to be happy, practice compassion. If you want others to be happy, practice compassion. There was this Rotarian in Thailand. His father was a Rotarian, and so this son, he was about 31 years old. The father said, you must also join Rotary, so he joined the Rotary. He would come, he would sign and then slowly slip off. One day, the president of this club, he rang up this 31-year-old Rotarian, 11 o'clock in the morning, and the president said, you know what, we have taken up a small project, which an individual Rotarian has to do. Today evening at 5:30, I want you to go to an orphanage which is very near your office. 5:30, pick up about 11 children in your SUV. Age group is about 3 to 6. Take them to the beach, they will all play there, and then at about 7 o'clock, you drop them back in their home and you come back. Actually, another Rotarian was to do this. He had to urgently go somewhere, and so you will do this. The Rotarian told the president, I'm so busy, so many things lined up for today. President said, I don't know what you will do, you have to do this. So the Rotarian took his SUV and 5:30 he went to the orphanage and picked up those 11 children, took them to the beach, and the children played, had a wonderful time. 6:45, darkness fell, and again they came back into the vehicle and he drove, dropping them back in their home. And there was this little boy, 4-year-old little boy, sitting next to him in the front seat. And this boy, he started pulling this Rotarian's trouser. And the Rotarian looked at the boy and smiled. The boy looked at the Rotarian and smiled. Little distance, again he pulled the trouser. Rotarian smiled, boy smiled. Happened 3-4 times. Then the home came. All the children got down from the vehicle. This 4-year-old boy continued to sit in the front seat. So the Rotarian said, little fellow, your home has come. You have to get down. The boy said, yes, sir, I know. before I go, I want to say something to you. Can I say? Rotarian said, fine, go ahead, say. And the boy said, how I wish you were my father. How I wish you were my father. The boy said this, got down from the car, went into the home. The boy said this and left. But that day, Rotary hit this Rotarian. Came back to his house, rang up the president. Why do you not give me such opportunities earlier? Give me more such opportunities. All these days, I was a member of our Rotary Club. Today, I've become a Rotarian. Who is this Rotarian I'm talking about? I'm talking about a Rotarian called Pichai Ratakul, a former Deputy Prime Minister of Thailand. He went on to become the president of his Rotary Club, the district governor of his district, director of Rotary International, and in 2003-04, he was worldwide president of Rotary International. He's about 96, still leading an active life in Thailand. And so, my friends, then as this Hollywood comedian called Jim Carrey, he tells us, I want every person in the world to become as rich as he wants. I want every person in the world to become as famous as he wants. And I want every person in the world to realize every dream of his. Because after these three things are achieved, this person will realize this is not the answer. If this is not the answer, what is the answer? Let me tell you, my friends, Rotary gives you the answer. The answer is to live for a cause which is bigger than yourself. In other words, to lead a life of significance. Which is why our forefathers, elders in this country have said, when you were born, you were crying and the people around you were laughing. Live your life in such a way that when you die, there is a smile on your face and the people around you are crying. In other words, lead a life of significance. One of my favorite anecdotes, and so I want to share it with my friends here. A man comes in his car, his brand new car, 20 lakhs car. He parks it outside the supermarket, gets into the supermarket, does his shopping, and he comes out. When he comes out, there is an 11-year-old boy, one of those boys you meet at the traffic signal. A boy looking at his car, admiring the car. And the man started talking to the boy. Little fellow, you like my car, new one, came just last week. The boy said, oh. The man said, you know what? To buy this car, I did not spend a single rupee. My elder brother, he gave this car to me as a gift. Now this boy said, oh. Man said, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking how nice it would be if you also had an elder brother like me. The boy said, no, sir. The boy said, no, sir. Actually, I have been thinking when I grow up, I should be like your elder brother. The man was stunned. Oh, what did you say? Yes, sir. I have been thinking when I grow up, I should be like your elder brother. What a wonderful thing. Come sit in my car. I'll take you for a drive. The boy sat in the car and the man started driving. The boy said, sir, if you don't mind, please go straight and take the third left. Man said, I know why. I know why you want to go straight. Your friends are there. You want to show off you're coming in this car. Boy didn't answer. Car went straight. Took the third left, little houses, third house on the right, and the boy said, sir, please stop the car here. The boy went into that house, And when he came out, he was carrying his 4-year-old crippled younger brother. And he made that younger brother sit at the entrance of the house. And he told that little boy, little brother, little fellow, you see that car, you see that uncle? That uncle's elder brother gave him that car as a gift. I want to promise you right today, when I grow up, I will get you a car like that one. Living for a cause which is bigger than yourself, looking for significance in life. No quality, there is no Rotary. So can we get like-minded people whose hearts rule their life as Rotarians of our club? And finally, if there is no giving, there is no Rotary. And giving, my friends, is not always money. As a professional, as a medical doctor, you can go as a Rotary volunteer to another place and do humanitarian work. As a chartered accountant, I have had the opportunity to go on Rotary Foundation audits to different parts of our country. So it's not always money. You give your time, you give your talent. And of course, whatever you feel like, you give for a cause which touches you. Because giving is living. And therefore, my friends, if there is no giving, there is no Rotary. I come to the end of this 14-point thesis. I think I can do no better than conclude in the words of George Bernard Shaw, who once famously said, "This is the true joy in life, being used for a purpose recognized by you as a mighty one. Being a true force of nature, instead of a feverish little clod of ailments and grievances, complaining that the world will not devote itself to make you happy. I believe that my life belongs to the entire community. And so long as I am alive, it is my duty to do for it whatever I can. I want to be thoroughly used up when I die. For the harder I work, the more I live. Life is no brief candle to me. Life is no brief candle to me. It's a sort of a splendid torch. And it is my duty to make it glow as brightly as possible before handing it over to the next generation." Thank you very much, friends.
I think that we need not give any memento to Suresh, because he is part of our family. The best thing we can give is a standing ovation to him. Wonderful to have such a, I think, couple of new guys who could not make it today, but I could see Shankar Raj, please be recognized. Shankar Raj is a new member. A couple of them who have not met. Chandrakant.